Adriana, thank you so much for talking with us today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for making me be here. And so thank you
Excellent.
for the invitation.
Yes. Well, recently I learned that you received the Bell Labs Fellow Lifetime Achievement Award. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I think that's a perfect segue into why we're talking to you today. March, as you know, is the month that we celebrate women in history. And you being a pioneer and everything that you've done for Nokia over the last 15, 20 years, you are part of that cohort of women that's driving the research and innovation that we're bringing forward to the world. So tell me about where you grew up and what got you interested in science in the first place.
Well, I grew up in Romania, in Bucharest. I was not only a city person, I also had the opportunity to go to the mountains and countryside. But I would say that I was always curious from the very beginning. I wanted to understand the why of things or how do things work. So this is what brought me closer to science. Maybe this curiosity and also what I saw in my family around me. People were trying to fix things to make things work. So this is how it started, I would say.
And was there one moment where you had an epiphany that really solidified your love for science?
I wouldn't really see it as like one moment. It was maybe a gradual um, going constantly towards this direction from since I was very little. And I was permanently encouraged to discover, to ask, to build, to repair, to do things. So I think it was like a continuous moment from the very beginning.
How beautiful that is though, right? To be empowered by those around you. Was there a particular female role model or individuals that really supported you throughout kind of your early years?
Well, I don't have to look very far away because my mother was very supportive and she was also my role model. She's an engineer herself as well. And I always, well, also when I was very little, I was, of course, admiring her. But when I got a bit older, I got to realize how deep she was studying the topics she was studying and how varied the topics were for her. And I really admired her power of work, power of work and diversity in what she was doing. So she was not only an inspiration, but also a support. And I think the same thing I would say for my father. So he was also very happy and encouraging all the time.
Adriana, how important do you think it is to have more than women supporting other women, so other genders in the workplace or even outside of the workplace?
I think it's, well, easily or very easy to answer. So it's very important because, yes, we are women and there are women and men, and but we are humans. And I would personally feel complete if I am supported by both men and women. And from the human point of view,
I love that point of view, that we're all humans. So I watched a presentation of yours very recently, and the title of it was "Can You Hear Me?" And that really sparked something important in the sense that how can women be heard more and more intently? What do you think we can do to be heard more?
that's a very good question. And I think the first thing to do is to speak if you want to be heard, and do not give up. And go outside of what you're supposed to do, go outside of your group, of your um, uh, not cubicle or cluster, but outside your comfort zone. Just speak and be ourselves. I think it's you are most heard as a woman, as a person, when you are authentic, when you are yourself. I think this is the moment, or this is what we have to be in order to be heard.
I think that's fantastic advice. So as you were moving through your career, did you encounter some obstacles? And if you did, how did you handle that?
Thinking of the very earliest times, some people might find it funny, but one of the obstacles I had was finding information. Those were the times where it was very hard for me in Romania at that time to find books. Well, there wasn't any internet, and so in that sense, there were obstacles of which we cannot think of today. And maybe looking beyond this lack of information, some of the obstacles I see now that I had, or understand now that I had, there were some choices, and I had limited choices. But I didn't feel this as a lack of choice, because I didn't know it could be something different. And not really as an obstacle, but again, as a lack of some guidance in the early career would have been very helpful. And what I see nowadays, the importance that is given, and really it's a very good thing, the importance that is given to mentoring. It's something that I see and believe it's very useful and very relevant, especially in the early stages of somebody's career.
Mm-hmm. Adriana, it sounds like curiosity was your compass, and you were able to overcome maybe the lack of information with really your focus on discovering and using curiosity to drive that. I think of the work that you've done and the fact that the speech and audio codecs and the impact to all of us, and the fact that that's in our devices. Maybe you could kind of speak a little bit about that, because I think the work that you've done is so omnipresent. And I have to say that I think that the lack of, or therefore the curiosity, is really what got you to contribute so much to the world. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
If I'm to try to link the curiosity to the voice, the world of voice and speech codecs, when it comes to my small drop that I added to this, I would say that it's first and foremost the curiosity to understand what is happening. This is on one side, there is a curiosity, but on the other hand, I think that it's also this idea, this belief that there is always a solution. You just need to, well, be curious enough, find the time, take a moment, and then you'll get to the solution. And this is how I see my impact with the speech codex, because I like to say that I'm working with bits of information, and I'm trying to compress them to send the information with as little weight as possible. And I think it's not only, it's like curiosity is believing that there's a solution, and also enjoying what I'm doing. I think
So,
these are things that that are very good to have. Yeah.
yes, and it sounds like you've enjoyed the journey, and it sounds like the journey is still moving. And that's wonderful.
Yes.
Adriana, what advice would you give to your younger self, right? Yourself that's just embarking on your career, about what you're doing today?
Well, I would say to go out more, but not exactly go out in a bar, but go out within the context of the problem I was studying. So I had the tendency to focus very deep within a very narrow scope. So by going out, I would invite myself, my younger self, to try to understand better the overall context. And another interpretation of going out more, I would advise my younger self again to network more, to try to speak with more colleagues, to be more active in maybe networking events, and learn and hear what other colleagues have to say. And these conversations go over the shyness and be more present, speak more, and I think there will be a lot to gain.
That is great advice. All right, so now moving on, we have a lightning round, one of our most favorite parts of the conversation, because we get to learn even more about you.
Okay.
All right, are you ready, Adriana?
Yes.
Okay. What is your favorite city besides the one you live in?
My favorite city is Toulouse in France. I spent there 3 years, and well, I was younger then, so maybe that's one reason why it's very dear to me, but it's also very close to mountains, very close to seaside, and it has a beautiful architecture. So I really liked that city and being there.
And what is your hidden talent?
I would say sports, more precisely gymnastics. Maybe it's not that hidden because I like to move a lot, and I do still train in gymnastics. So this is, it's not really, it's a talent, but also a passion.
I love that. It's interesting. Would you say that movement is a part of what you're able to do, that somehow it sparks the curiosity, so that you've got the physical and the mental there?
Yes, I think they are related in the sense that I'm expressing my curiosity also physically. So I'm always very fast to move and to express my ideas or thoughts, also with the body, not only with the words.
That's wonderful. All right, and the last question I have for you is, what profession, other than the one that you have today, would you like to try?
I don't know if it's surprising or not, but I would say that I would like to try to be a teacher, and teacher for somewhere between early education, so for younger kids. And I do like working with children, and I think their happiness, their sincerity, authenticity, it's something that's very inspiring. And even if it's not easy, I know, but it's something that I would love to do.
I think, Adriana, you would make a wonderful teacher.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for your time. This was a wonderful few minutes to talk to you and get to know you even more.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.